What is up, everyone? Happy Friday. Welcome to the fastest growing sports podcast filmed out of a dining room in Northeast Indiana. You're watching No Butts About It. And of course, we've got our friend Chris here today, who is already saying he's got some breaking news. That is less than a week away from the Packers getting their first loss of the season. I can only assume he is talking about the draft. He thinks the Packers are going to draft poorly. Well, guess we'll see. Only 6 days away. Jonathan and Stan will be posting all the drafts picks all night on Instagram and YouTube tabs. But at midnight, I will be live streaming and we will react to all of the drafts picks after they've happened. And then on Friday, I'm going to try to be live for both rounds. Saturday, still kind of up in the air, but we'll see. We'll get you covered. We'll get you taken care of. Glad to see you're able to live stream today. Me too. Woke up yesterday, had no power. Nobody in town had power. And I called my buddy who works for the electrical company. I said, yo, why don't we have any power? And he's like, I don't really know, to be honest, but they said it'll be back on by 6. I was like, okay, good enough. But that was too late for me. I had some meetings I had to get to last night, so we had to move the live stream to today. But, it ended up being a good thing that we moved the live stream to today because, Chris, I actually do have, I don't know that it's breaking news because it happened a few hours ago. It's new news. Willie Anderson Jr. has been extended by the Houston Texans. According to Ian Rappaport, the All-Pro Edge has agreed to a blockbuster 3-year, $150 million extension with $134 million guaranteed. And he is now the NFL's highest paid non-quarterback ever. He's the first non-quarterback to reach $50 million a year. He still has 2 years left on his rookie deal. So they're going to get that spread out. And, they're hoping the cap increases a little bit before that even hits. You want the sounder for that? I wasn't sure if it was sounder worthy, but I'll play the sounder for Chris. Chris is requesting the sounder. Here we go. Did that a little bit in reverse. So there's your sounder mid video. But yes, Willie Anderson Jr. I would argue very underrated edge rusher. Obviously a fantastic player. And we've got all these stats here. 2023 Defensive Rookie of the Year, 2-time Pro Bowler, 2025 first team All Pro. 4 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 30 sacks, 46 tackles for loss, and 136 combined tackles in the first few years of his career. I also want to point out he's only 24 years old. He was young when he was drafted, and so he's only been in the league a short time, but he's still about the same age as some of the guys we're going to see getting drafted on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. So, there's still something we could see from Will Anderson. Very, very good draft pick by the Houston Texans. I think this is a good deal. I think that it'll probably end up aging fairly well. It'll be interesting to see if the Lions end up having to do some stuff with Aiden Hutchinson. Browns just extended Myles Garrett. Max Crosby had just been extended and then traded, and now he's back with the Raiders. So all those deals are going to be interesting as well. But Will Anderson Jr. is a fantastic player, super underrated. Love watching him play. He's just an absolute force on the football field, very disruptive player, and I think Houston Texans fans are going to be very happy to have him locked down. We do have – I just saw this on X when I was reading Ian Rappaport's post, and I wasn't prepared for this. This is breaking news. Well, this is breaking news to me. It happened about an hour ago. So I'll play the sounder again for you, Chris. The Falcons are trading defensive tackle Rook Oro. I did not say that right, and I apologize. To the Jaguars in exchange for defensive tackle Mason Smith. I think Mason Smith is probably a better player. I don't understand. It's just that's it. That's the trade, and they both play the same position. Interesting. Very, very interesting to kind of follow that because there's nothing else being reported alongside that trade. It's just player for player, same position, same draft. As Field Yates pointed out, the 35th pick in the 2024 NFL draft gets traded for the 48th pick in the 2024 NFL draft. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about this trade. They're both kind of underperformed, I think, but yeah. Falcons sending Rook over to the Jaguars, and Jaguars sending Mason over to the Mason Smith. Masson. Sorry. Mason Smith, defensive tackle for the Jaguars, is heading to the Atlanta Falcons. So, yeah. That's a straight up trade. That's all they got. I don't really that one doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. We'll post that in the community tabs after the show. Hopefully we'll get a few more details at some point. But yeah, maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking about right now. Like I said, that just popped up. But now that we've done that, we've discussed that. If there's not any thoughts about Will Anderson being extended, like I said, just super underrated player, disruptive. I think it's going to end up being a good deal for the Houston Texans. I like the move. Very exciting for them. I want to get into what I was planning on talking about yesterday, which is draft strategy, and then we'll get into our mock draft. Final mock draft of the year, 2 rounds, which took forever last time because Silverwolf kept trading back. 2 rounds, and it'll be our final mock draft this season. But anyway, first draft strategy. So I've been seeing a lot of posts, with the Bengals being at 10, we've talked about how the Bengals are in a weird position, especially for this draft. There's a lot of defensive players that go early, and the Bengals need defense. And there's a chance, I think it's an outside chance, but there is a chance. Yes, trades and mock draft, so get ready for that. I think there is a chance, an outside chance, Jeremiah Love falls to the Bengals. I do. He's been mocked there a few times. There's a few scenarios where it plays out, and Bengals fans just get so mad at those mocks because they're like, we don't need a running back. We have Chase Brown. Like, here's the thing. You draft assets, and this is where bad teams are bad. They continue to draft needs. And when you go into the draft with a bunch of clear holes with needs, that's when you reach on a player at a position that you need instead of getting a really good football player. So, in the example of Jeremiah Love, yes, we have Chase Brown. I love Chase Brown. This is not, a hate towards Chase Brown at all. I would love for him to get extended. I think that would be great for the Bengals. But you know what? Let's say, the contract negotiations are happening, nothing's working. Chase Brown he ends up, moving on in free agency. And we saw this with the Seattle Seahawks as Kenneth Walker moved on. Not saying that Chase Brown is as good as Kenneth Walker, but the hypothetical here. So then in the Bengals' current running back room, they don't have anyone. They have Samaje Perine and Taj Brooks. And I like Taj Brooks as a prospect. Samaje Perine is older, especially for a running back. You have to then replace Chase Brown. Well, let's look at this a different way. What if we draft Jeremiah Love, the Bengals draft Jeremiah Love, And then the running back room is Jeremiah Love, Chase Brown, and then Samaje Perine, and then Taj Brooks. Then, hypothetically, Chase Brown loses a little bit of leverage. Not that I don't want Chase Brown to get paid, but the Bengals also have more flexibility then, right? They can say, oh, okay, well, here, we'll just trade you to someone who's going to pay you a little bit more. Again, not what I want to happen, but drafting Jeremiah Love gives you that flexibility. Bengals don't run the ball as much as a lot of teams, but they do run the ball quite a bit, and they use their running backs in the receiving game a lot too, which Jeremiah Love would be great at. But Joe Burrow loves throwing to his running backs. So that being said, though, and again, I understand, would Jeremiah Love be the best pick for the Bengals? No, probably not. But would he be the best pick of players available? Possibly. If it's between Jeremiah Love and Keldrick Falk right now, I'm taking Jeremiah Love because Keldrick Falk, we don't know what he is. He's really just another Shamar Stewart, which fans hated last year. And now they're clamoring for Keldrick Falk because if it's over Jeremiah Love. I'm just saying you draft assets, give your team more flexibility, and then you can, look at what the Packers did a few years ago in 2020. They drafted Jordan Love because they knew Aaron Rodgers was either retiring or on his way out, going to another team. So they drafted their quarterback so that he could sit there for a few years. Was it, the best time? Probably not. Did it make sense at the time? Probably not. But look at how smooth that transition was. And I would actually argue that the quarterback is probably the one position you shouldn't do this with. Like if Fernando Mendoza falls for some reason, I'm not going to draft Fernando Mendoza at 10, right? But I just think that we need good teams, good football teams. Another example is the Seahawks again. Seattle Seahawks lost Kenneth Walker, but they have Zach Charbonnet. So that transition is probably going to be a lot smoother than it was if they didn't have Zach Charbonnet. I just think you draft good football players, best player available. A lot of these positions where there are holes, there are still players in free agency available that are going to be signed after the draft, that you can sign after the draft. So I think that you draft your best player, get good football players on your football team, and then you figure it out from there. Because if you're just drafting for needs, then you're going to end up reaching. You're going to end up making bad decisions, and you're going to end up with a team full of bad football players or players who haven't developed to where they need to be. The other thing that teams should look at, and I'm assuming they do look at, is the difference in pay, right? So this actually would go against the Bengals selecting Jeremiah Love at 10. So the draft picks, their money is fixed, right? You know how much each draft pick is going to make. You also know how much the market value for each position is, right? So like edge rusher just got kicked up to $50 million a year. Awesome for edge rushers. But if I am a NFL GM and I'm looking at that and I'm kind of on the edge about my edge rusher, either someone I signed in free agency or someone who I know is going to be wanting a new contract soon, I kind of got to look at that and I got to go, look, do I want to pay this guy $50 million a year, or do I want to draft a guy and pay him, $8 million a year for 4 years? I mean, that the value is there. The positions like quarterback, wide receiver, edge rusher, cornerback, the value is there to draft them high because you can get a really, really good player, a top tier player, for as much as you'd have to pay a veteran for his in 1 year. You can get that rookie contract to be the equivalent. So you can get a steal there. So that's something else that you should consider. I think that's why some of these edge rushers are going to go so high. Some of these corners as well, guys like Mansour Delane, and then running back, tight end, offensive guard, those types of positions. There's not as big of a difference between what the rookies are getting paid and what the vets are getting paid. So that's something else to consider. So That's kind of my draft strategy. That's how I'm looking into it. And that's why, like, if it comes down to somehow, I hope this doesn't happen. But if on draft night it comes down to like Keldrick Falk and it comes down to Jeremiah Love and the Bengals draft Jeremiah Love, then I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm not going to be happy about it. I'm still praying Sonny Styles falls. That's my wish. But we'll see what happens. I know that that's not likely. But I'm a faithful man, and I believe there's a God, and I'm hoping that God is a Cincinnati Bengals fan next Thursday. So, uh, all right. What do you guys? What's your guys' draft strategy? Anyone chilling in here? Want or wondering? Or got questions? Make sure to let me know. I'll give you guys like a minute to type those out or so, and then we'll go right into our mock draft. I'm going to get that set up here while you guys are, sending your draft strategy, letting us know. Is Silverwolf in the house? Is Silverwolf going to trade back again? Trade down. That's also an option. The thing is with the Bengals, though, why I didn't even consider that is because the Bengals just don't do that. The Bengals do not trade in the draft a lot, especially in the first round. I don't think I don't know if this is true, but it seems like it that they haven't traded down in the first round since the 90s. I don't know that that is technically true, though. I can't remember a situation where they did, and that just may be my brain not deciding to function today, which is entirely possible. All right. We have the 2026 mock draft simulator, final updated version, 2 rounds. Speed does not matter because we're doing all 32 teams. This other stuff doesn't matter, just showing you where it's marked. There's our draft picks. We're going to enter into the draft. All right, boys and girls. So start draft. We're going to keep Fernando Mendoza at 1. Arvell, do we like Arvell Reese at 2? I've been putting Arvell Reese at 2, but if there's another, I know that they seemed the Jets were supposed to have a meeting with David Bailey, and then they canceled that meeting and basically said, hey, we know what we need to know about him. And so I don't know if that means, David Bailey isn't getting drafted round 2 or what, or pick 2 or what. But we got some options here. What do we think? Help me out. I don't. They kept Breece Hall, so I don't think they're going Jeremiah Love. I would say it's between David Bailey and Arvell Reese. I like the 3-4 format that Aaron Glenn seems to be trying to build there in New York. Trading for T'Vondre Sweat, getting those big boys up front and getting more athletic guys in the back. So Arvell Reese seems to fit that. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Arizona Cardinals. Is Silverwolf in here? Is Silverwolf hanging with us? If not, I'm probably going to just pick for him. He traded back like 5 times off this pick yesterday, so I'm not going to do that. Let's see what trade, or not yesterday, last week. I'll trade back once for him, since I know that's what he wants them to do. Tampa Bay Buccaneers need a tight end, guard, edge, and linebacker. Ooh, they're going to take Sonny Styles. I'm not going to be happy about it, but they're going to take Sonny Styles. Tennessee Titans. I really don't think Jeremiah Love makes it past the Tennessee Titans. They just don't have a great really any room, but running back room is weak. They need to support their running back or their quarterback in Cam Ward, and Jeremiah Love is just such a great player. Wide receiver, guard, linebacker, safety. Caleb Downs, unfortunately. Quarterback, wide receiver, guard, and tackle. Maybe do we go Carnell Tate? I can see Carnell Tate maybe being that slight reach by the Browns. Running back, wide receiver, probably David Bailey. D-line. Wide receiver, edge, defensive back. So this is interesting for the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe they trade back because they're like, I don't really like any of these, and I don't really like any of this for them either. So I'll try to be fair here, as much as I'd love for them to screw up their pick. They're only trading back 3. Yeah, we'll do this. Trying to go a little bit faster because last time was insane. Okay, so the Rams are up now. They need a tackle, so they're going to take Francis. Now, this is the situation that the Bengals could find themselves in. I didn't even do this intentionally to prove a point. So look at all these defensive players we had go in the first 9 picks. So the Bengals need a defensive player. They got Mansour Delane, Dylan Thieneman. Is cornerback a need for the Bengals? Not, I would argue no. At least not a big need. Safety isn't as big of a need as it was either. I'd still like a safety. But like I said, draft best player. And Mansour Delane, he can find a spot in this cornerback room. And once again, the Bengals have 2 corners that they need to extend, and they have extended neither, hoping to get that DJ Turner and Dax Hill extension done. However, if one of those does not get done, we'll have Mansour Delane. So I am drafting Mansour Delane. That worked out for us. Let's see here. Wide receiver, guard, tackle, DB. I like Thieneman. I really like Thieneman. Let's go Thieneman. I think they need that. Minka's gone. They need a safety. That should be good for them, I think. Dallas Cowboys, defensive interior, linebacker, corner. Not a lot of linebackers. We ran into this last time, if you remember. We learned that there's not a lot of linebackers in this draft. Or guards. I think wasn't guard the other position that we couldn't find players for. Monroe Freeling, Spencer Fennell. Oh boy. Where's our earliest linebacker? CJ Allen, that's a reach. We're gonna trade. I don't think Silver Wolf would do that. WWSWD. What would Silver Wolf do? Let's do that. See if that gets accepted. Boom. Yay. Los Angeles Chargers. They need. Okay. They don't need a tackle. I'm fully aware of that. But Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater both got injured last year and were very beat up, and it caused Justin Herbert to suffer. So I'm going to take Spencer Fennell, not because I think Joe Alt or Rashawn Slater are bad. I'm going to take him because I want depth and I want development. And I don't think ultimately they're going to be able to pay both those guys. I think Rashawn Slater's already been paid, but we'll see what happens with that. We'll see. We're back with take the best punter. I would love to take the best punter for the Chiefs here, but I'm trying to be objective. They need DBs. They do need DBs. I think they need more. Do they need more safeties though, or more? Who's still on their roster? They let a bunch of guys go in free agency. Kair Alam, Christian Fulton. Maybe they do need some. They actually could use. I'm going to give them Jermon McCoy. They don't have a ton of corner help, and if maybe he needs a year or so, but I think they have enough that if he needs a year or so to kind of help heal from his issues, then they have that. So Ravens, freaking Ravens. Okay. Chris Vikings or whoever responds. I'm gonna let you make the Ravens pick because I'm biased. Personally, in my expert opinion, if you want to call it that, I would go between Makai Lemon and Oliva Vega Ione. I think that's how you say his name. Um, but you let me know what you think. Someone tell me who to pick. Sadiq. Okay, we saying Sadiq. Cool. I get that too. Uh, they let Likely go. They got Mark Andrews extended, but I did not understand that move. Monroe Freeling. Okay, I think that'll make Silverwolf happy. I know that would make Joe Camo with the Cardinal Rule happy, so we'll get him his guy. Monroe Freeling, Makai Lemon. Okay, I'll get the Jets Makai Lemon. We'll see how Stan the Jet fan feels about that. Ooh, I think the Lions are gonna sneak up past the Cowboys, take their guy. Vikings are trading back. Okay, we got 3 trade offers. Cowboys at pick 20, Patriots pick 31, Giants 37. Chris Vikings, who would you like to trade with? Let me know. Trade back 2 picks. A pick that makes 13 picks, math, and then 19 picks. Patriots, okay? So I assume you want pick 31 for 18. What else do you want from the Patriots? The Super Bowl runner-ups, the first losers, New England Patriots. If there are any Patriots fans in here, I apologize, but it was really funny to watch that Super Bowl growing up in Indiana. 31, 96, 125. I assume you mean 95, but yeah. Offer trade, and it's gone through. So we need to pick for the Patriots now. They need tackle, defensive line, and linebacker. I don't know why they made this trade, but here they are. I guess D line will go Hakeem Messidor. Wide receiver, tight end, center, defensive interior. Okay, we'll get Bryce Young some help. We got Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State. Dallas Cowboys, defensive interior, linebacker, corner. Give him Tyson. I gave him Tyson. Right? I assume you meant the Panthers. Who do I give the Cowboys? Do we give them Terrell? Is that not too? That's about a 6-pick reach. Not too bad. Does EMW play any corner? Plays a little bit of corner. Not really though. He's mainly a box safety. Box and deep. That's what I thought. I'm gonna give him Terrell. They're getting Terrell. Let's see. Quarterback, running back, guard, tackle. Pittsburgh's getting some good value there. Oh, why do the Cowboys have so many picks? Who did I just give them? Who did they just Terrell, that's right. So they've got a corner. I hate this so much. We're trade. No one wants to trade with them. Okay. I guess BPA. Figure it out. Wide receiver, tackle, edge, safety. Keldrick Falk to the Eagles. Cleveland Browns already took they need tackle help though. Center, defensive line, safety. Caden McDonald, maybe? Let's see here. Yeah, not really anything else. Guard, defensive interior, linebacker, safety. We're going to trade back. Apparently, just pick 50. I'm going to need some picks for the Bills. There we go. Tackle, defensive line, linebacker. Okay, tackle. We'll go. I don't think they need an edge. I think they need more defensive interior. So we'll go Caden Proctor, help them get some tackle help. They had some issues on the O-line this year. San Francisco 49ers, guard, tackle, edge, safety. Let's go edge with who's their edge? Nick Bosa. He's their primary edge. A little beat up, a little injured. We'll get him some depth. We're gonna get the 49ers some depth here today. Running back, center, guard, defensive interior for the Texans. I'm going to go Peter Woods over Caleb Banks because Caleb Banks has been injured a lot, and I think he's going to fall anyway. So we'll do a little bit of a jump on Peter Woods. Wide receiver, edge, defensive back for the Chiefs. Mark Cooper Jr., I hate it. I hate it so much, but they need some help. Wide receiver or guard. Guess we're sending Denzel Boston to the Miami Dolphins. All right, Vikings are back up. What do we got here? What do we get? I'm going to be so for real with you guys. The way this draft has worked out, I don't think there's any way that this ends up being the final draft. But, hey, crazy things happen on draft night. Remember when Shedeur Sanders was going to be a top 10 pick? Pepperidge Farms remembers. Okay. Who do you got for me, Chris? No, I believe Caden McDonald went to a team. I think he went to the Bears, actually. Yeah, Caden McDonald is a Bear. So you'll get to see him 2 times a year. But no, McDonald is not still available. Caden McDonald, future Gary Bear, Chicago Bear. According to this mock draft. Oh, that's not nice, guys. Guys listening at home on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, it's not nice to say that you hate someone. And that's what Chris Vikings just said to me. He said he hates me. It's a shame. It's a shame what the world's come to, really. So much hate. We're all about love here. Except for the Ravens. Christian Miller. Okay. Boom. Kristen Miller. There we go. Seattle Seahawks, running back, edge, defensive back. TJ Parker, get that Boye Mafe replacement. Okay, the Jets, I feel like, have come up multiple times now. Have I just traded back for the Jets each time? No, I've picked twice for them. I forgot they have like a billion picks in the first round because of the Colts and because of. Okay, so they've Arvell Reese and Mekhi Lemon are already Jets. They have a wide receiver and a linebacker. You can't help the Bears, dude. I'm trying to be objective here. I'm trying to give every team good picks. It's hard, I know. Ooh. Do we think Colton Hood goes to the Jets or KC? Because KC with Garrett Wilson could be kind of crazy. I'm just saying. Like, he's got some drops, but he's pretty decent. Pretty decent player. Colton Hood, on the other hand, he corner pretty much just stays in the corner. Run defense isn't the best. Zone and man is great. I'm tempted to go Colton Hood to the Jets. I think we're going to go Colton Hood to the Jets. Arizona Cardinals, Silverwolf still isn't here. As a reminder, took Monroe Freeling, tackle, so they've got that knocked out. We're not going to take a quarterback this early. We're not going to take a quarterback in round 2. I know that Cardinals fans really want Max Ionankor, so you're welcome, Cardinals fans. I provided you that gift. Hopefully it falls that way for you guys on draft night. Emmanuel Pregnon, we're gonna, we've helped out our quarterback Cam Ward, and we're gonna help him out with the O-line. Again, I guess. Las Vegas Raiders. Oh, we got to get Fernando someone to throw to, and that's going to be KC. Get him another weapon. Would have liked to get him a guy from I'd like for them to target Elijah Surratt in the 3rd round if they can, but we're only going 2 rounds. I don't want to, risk maybe losing out altogether. They need some weapons there in Las Vegas. They've got Jalen Naylor. They got Brock Bowers, but I want more. I want more for our guy. They took Caleb Downs in the 1st round. New York Giants need a guard, a linebacker, and a wide receiver. Oh, Bills want to trade up. No. Let's see here. It's a little bit of a reach. I don't think he's too bad, though. Drop rate 4%, contested catch rate 50%. Chris Bell, I was impressed by his stats when I made his graphic today, so maybe I'm just biased, but I'm going to toss him there. Texans, I think Caleb Banks is finally going to find a home. Make sure the Texans – that we took – dang. Okay, never mind. Caleb Banks is not going to find a home. We just took I guess they could take 2 defensive interior in the first 2 rounds, but I doubt they do that. Dang, the Texans are weird. The Texans are a weird team. I guess Chase Besantis. Oh, we could trade back and go for Chase Besantis. Ooh, the Bengals want to trade up. Okay. What are we trading up for? I'll give you 110. Wait. But I want 69. Actually, I want 106. How is that trade lopsided? Send you that pick too then. I don't know. Duke sucks in the late rounds. There we go. That was weird. Bengals. What do we do? Bengals need D-line. That is right. But Caleb Banks is injured. And if he's on the Bengals, he'll just going to get more injured. I would like Jacob Rodriguez, though, if we could get him. Okay, in this hypothetical, we're going to draft we're going to draft Lee Hunter. And then we're signing Bobby Wagner, like right now, today. Like as I'm clicking this button, Bobby Wagner is being signed because we didn't get Jacob Rodriguez. Okay. Did we get? Yeah, I took Lee Hunter. Is that okay? Did you want Lee Hunter? I'm sorry. Did that hurt your feelings, Chris? I'm still kind of recovering from when you said you hated me. I don't know if you remember that. I'm not going to send Ty Simpson to the Browns, but I feel like the Browns could take Ty Simpson. Like I feel like they would do that. Let's see here. I don't like. Let's trade back. I don't like any of these for the Browns. Okay, defensive interior. Finally, we're getting rid of Caleb Banks. I was feeling bad for him. He was supposed to be a first-round pick, had some injuries. He's going to fall to the early 2nd. That's okay, though. That's not too bad. Edge. Who do we give him before? Jamal McCoy and Mark Cooper Jr. Okay, we'll give you Zion Young. I'm starting to hate the Houston Texans. I'm not even going to lie to you. That's what I thought, Chris. But then you said no or you just said Lee Hunter. I don't know why. Are you excited for the Bengals to get Lee Hunter? I'm starting to hate the Texans because I don't know what to do with them. Their needs are so weird. Okay, they're getting Chase Basantas. We're just going to call it a day on that. I'm tired of dealing with them. I'm going to trade down one more time with the Browns. We're going to target Keith Abney. I know. Oh, you wanted me to take Lee Hunter. Gotcha. I see. I understand now. Well, we did take Lee Hunter. So, Philadelphia Eagles, wide receiver tackle. Who have they taken? They took an edge. They need a tackle. Luckily, there is an abundance of tackles here. Round 243. They took a wide receiver, took a safety. You need a guard. Not great needs. So we're gonna go BPA. Building up that new team. Ooh. The Jets could take we gave him a corner, right? We gave him Colton Hood. Yep. Okay. They have a linebacker. I'm just saying. I could see it happening. I could see it. I can see a world where the Jets take Ty Simpson in round 2. So we're gonna make it this world. Let's see. Kenyon Sadiq went to the Ravens in the first round. They need a wide receiver, center, and a guard and a linebacker. Oh, frick. You know what? I'm trying to be objective. They would do this. They did this last year to me. Jacob Rodriguez is a Raven. Cardinals have been having a really good draft so far. They got Monroe Freeling. They got Max Einankor. I know they've got 2 tackles, but I've seen both of them being mocked to the Cardinals lately. So congrats. You get both. Your quarterback just got robbed right before you. I apologize about that. I like D'Angelo Pons. I know they don't really need cornerback, but like look at the top 5 players are all 3 of the top 5 players are all cornerbacks. So D'Angelo Pons. Yeah, Jack Golday should still be available. He's going to be around pick 59. He's another guy I'd like the Bengals to be able to take if they can get to him. If they can get him there. Let's see here. Indianapolis Colts. Oh my gosh, the needs are so. I'm going to give them AJ Halchi because they need safeties. They need safety help, secondary help bad. And Lou Anarumo's defense relies heavily on the safeties. So we're going to do that. Atlanta Falcons, wide receiver, defensive interior, linebacker, corner. They're going to go corner with Chris Johnson. Okay, we're to the Vikings. We got running back, center, defensive interior, safety. You said running back or linebacker. I can filter by those 2 positions, Chris, just so you can see who is available. I assume you want Golday, or were you just asking about Golday? Jadarian Price is also an option. Pretty good player, kind of played second fiddle to Jeremiah Love at Notre Dame. But as you can see, got very good zone rusher, not great in the gap. Elusive, small guy. It seems like kind of less of a bruiser, but could be fun. Yeah, let's see. 5'11", 210. Yep. Golday is the pick. Okay, Golday is the pick. Jake Golday is headed to the Minnesota Vikings. Buffalo Bills are back up. They have not made a pick yet because I got tired of them. Let's see here. We'll go R. Mason Thomas, BPA. They're losing AJ Epinesa, so they kind of need to fill that anyway. But or presumably they're losing AJ Epinesa. AJ Epinesa hasn't signed with anyone yet. We gave them a wide receiver in the previous. They do need a tight end. Eli Stowers has been gaining some traction. He's headed to the Carolina Panthers. Guard, defensive interior, linebacker, corner. Who did we give the Packers before? No one. They don't have a pick in the first round. That's crazy. Okay. Well, I know they signed Cam Taylor-Britt. I don't. Oh no, they didn't. They wanted them to sign Cam. Packers fans wanted to sign Cam Taylor-Britt. I don't know why. Cam Taylor-Britt's not that good. I used to be a huge Cam Taylor-Britt fan, like for real. I thought he was going to be great for the Bengals. Thought he was an absolute steal, and he just kind of fell off, unfortunately. I do still hope like things work out for him, but I don't think he's worth the hype. He's an Indianapolis Colt now, though, so maybe Lou can figure things out for him. Guard for the Steelers. They need a running back, tackle. I guess Jadarian Price it is. Cleveland Browns. Jennings Dunker. That seems like a Browns player, to be honest with you. Who are we targeting? Oh, we're targeting Abney for the Cowboys, weren't we? Well, they get Keontae Scott instead. Not bad. What'd you say, Phil? Insane if you think they're going to trade up for a player will not start, especially with them re-signing their backup guard and tackle and looking to re-sign their starting guard and tackle. Which player are you? Which team are you talking about? Insane if you think they're going to. Are you talking about the Bengals or who? When was the last? I'm not sure which team you're talking about, Phil. Well, let me know and we can talk about it, maybe explain it. But yeah, moving on. Tackles, defense, the tight end, defensive line, linebacker. None of these players really wow me for them, but they also don't want to trade. So I guess we got to go BPA here for Jeremy. I don't really like that pick. Some of these picks, like to be clear, I don't like some of these picks. Like I'm not saying this is going to be it. This is just the way it fell. I don't really like the Bengals first pick, to be honest, but that's just the way the draft board fell. So not everything's gonna be perfect. Chicago Bears, Caden McDonald. Chris was really happy about that pick. The other thing is that a lot of these teams have a problem with is they want centers, guards, safeties. There's simply not a lot of centers, guards, and safeties in the first 2 rounds to draft. At least not as many as teams that need them or want them. So you got to remember that. Like, there's going to be like teams that are going to take players that are going to end up like just being development players to have later on. So that's also important to remember. 49ers took Cassius Howell. He was BPA. Again, not the best pick, but that's where that kind of ended up. Tackle, guard, safety. See, no one wants to trade with them. No one wants to be their friend. So they're going to end up having to reach a little bit. But Caleb Tiernan plays left tackle. They got Trent Williams, but Trent Williams, he's getting a little older. Maybe he can build behind him. Oh, the Texans have been like the kings of this. I mean, look at their needs: running back, center, guard, and defensive interior. I got them a guard. I got them a defensive interior, but I'm running out of like ways to help them. I guess maybe Chris, we get him a wide receiver, get CJ some help, maybe because Tank wasn't out there last year. Who knows how he'll bounce back? I don't know. This is a really weird draft year. Like I am fully aware that like this is probably completely wrong. And like that's fine because I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen beyond pick 1 and maybe 2. Chicago Bears, Gabe Jackas, Caden McDonald. Again, I guess I know Skylar Bell's pretty popular. We'll throw him on there. He's our DJ Moore replacement, I suppose. Have we gotten them an edge yet? We did. Zion Young. Okay. We get him a corner yet? Yeah, Jermon McCoy. That's right. You got Josiah Trotter. Maybe get a little bit of some linebacker depth. Not a huge need, but it could. I know that Spags likes his linebackers, so that could happen. Oh boy, we're getting into the big question mark players. Bryce Lance. Bryce Lance actually, I think went under kind of appreciated in a lot of ways. He's got some good stuff he can bring to a team. Yeah, I would say I think he could be exciting for a team. Let's send him to the Broncos. Patriots, after trading back for some reason, they kept trading back in this mock. Malachi Lawrence. Running back edge DB. Who did we give them before edge? We gave him, yeah, that's right. Let's go trade in. All right. Again, not saying that is going to be the greatest draft ever. First round is Fernando, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love, Caleb Downs, Carnell Tate, David Bailey, Ruben Bain Jr., Francis Malagoa, Mansour Delane, Dylan Thieneman, Spencer Fano, Jermon McCoy, Kenyon Sadiq, Monroe Freeling, Makai Lemon, CJ Allen, Akeem Mesidor, Jordan Tyson, Avion Terrell, Oliva Vega, Ione, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, Keldrick Falk, Blake Miller, Caden McDonald, Caden Proctor, Cassius Howell, Peter Woods, Amari Cooper Jr., Denzel Boston, Christian Miller, TJ Parker. So, yeah, again, this may not even be close. Fully aware of that. But you know what? That's part of the fun of having mock drafts, right? They could be completely wrong and it affects nothing. So I appreciate all of you guys for stopping by and hanging out with us today. We will be back for the NFL draft on Thursday into Friday, Eastern Standard Time. I just got my time off approved today. So that's awesome. We will be doing a post-draft live stream at midnight Eastern Standard Time. Come hang out with us, react, yell about your favorite team's pick, do whatever. Talk about how wrong I was with that mock draft. That's cool. Let's all hang out, talk, have a fun time, have a good time. And until next time, go do something nice for someone. Remember, there is a merch link down in the bio if you would like to support the show. We've got okay, hang on. You guys are asking questions now. You're asking questions now. We can't wrap up yet. Are you going to do a show Wednesday as a pregame show? Let me look. Hang on. Let me look at my calendar real quick before I commit to anything. Next Wednesday, I think do we want a pre-draft show? Do we want to do that? Do we want to hang out here? We can do that. We can come hang out. I will come hang out with you guys Wednesday night, assuming we have power, assuming I'm not ill. This week was just awful. But yeah, I will. We can do a pregame show Wednesday as long as the schedule and everything works out, and I'll post that ahead of time as always. Make sure to check out the merch links in the bio down below. Really helps us out. Even just buying a single sticker and advertising the podcast helps us out. Not making money off that. I'm not going to be a millionaire off stickers. That's okay. But until next time, go do something nice for someone. I appreciate everyone for stopping by, and I will see you guys all for the draft next week.